Hey, welcome everybody to another episode of Keeping It Real with Rob. I'm your host, Rob Connett. Joining us for today's episode, Sam Armand. She is from the green level swim team. Sam, how are you? Thanks for joining us.
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good, good. Let's dive right into it. See what I did there. Um, your first swim meet for you guys was just what, last week? A couple weeks ago?
Yeah, I think it was last week on Tuesday. Yeah.
Okay. How did it go for you and the team?
Our team actually did really good. We got first place, men's and women's, and overall, which is a big step forward than where we were last year. I believe we were still first at this meet with the other teams, but our team has improved a lot this year. We have a lot of new freshmen and new people who started to join the team. So it's actually a much larger team than last year. And I feel like going on towards the season, just from that last meet, that going on, it's going to be really fun. And we're going to do a lot better than we did last year.
Remind me of the events that you swim specifically.
I usually swim. Last week, I swam 100 free and 100 breaststroke, but I will usually, going forward, I'm going to do probably the 50 free and 100 breast throughout the season into conference, regionals, and states.
Do you have a favorite? Do you prefer one event
Yeah,
over the other?
I prefer 100 breaststroke just because I practice it all the time, and it's probably one of my best events in high school and in like the competitive season overall.
What made you get involved in swimming in the first place?
I've been swimming since I was really young. Started on just a little competitive team at the YMCA, and my mom was a swimmer all throughout college. So I guess just putting me into lessons at first and having me just do swimming all the time, I've gotten really into it. I never really had a second sport, so once I was in it, I just kind of stuck through it all the way out, and it was really good just to see my progression, and I like to see like the results of everything.
Do you remember your first ever event? How old were you?
I have no idea. It's probably gonna be, well, when you're really young, you usually start with like 25s in summer swim team probably. So it's probably like 25 fly. Because I used to be a flyer and a freestyler before I joined the TAC Titans, which is my current team right now. But I'm pretty sure one of the first events was probably 25, 50 butterfly for me.
Do you um do you have any fun or unique traditions? I know swimmers, like some people say swimmers are a completely different breed compared
Yeah.
to other sports and other athletes. Do you have like a specific routine that you go through before every meet that you have to do it this way?
Um, Not specifically for like the smaller high school meets that we do, maybe towards like states and regionals, but for like bigger meets, even with the competitive season, I always have like specific breakfast before I swim. I always like have to double check my bag and bring like certain water bottles because certain water bottles will be like have this, I guess, luck to it. It's kind of like superstitions. Lots of swimmers have superstitions,
Yeah.
and so there's suits. I have a specific suit like for certain not like events and races, but like for warm up, I'll have specific suits that go with the event that I'm swimming that day because that suit's more comfortable for that
Yeah,
certain stroke.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
What's your go-to breakfast then?
Usually before practice or before meet, it will be a waffle with peanut butter and banana and syrup with some orange juice.
That sounds amazing. That sounds really. There are some other things that I noticed about swimmers through my career of PA announcing and sports broadcasting and just covering sports, for the last 10, 15 years. I noticed more with swimmers, like when they're getting ready, headphones. You're always listening to music and just in the mode, just like nothing can. You have a main focus.
Mm-hmm.
What's your playlist? What is playing when you got those headphones on before a swim meet?
Um, I usually listen to a lot of just like really hype music, nothing that gets you down. So maybe some Pink, some Beyonce, a lot of Pitbull actually, because our coach plays it all the time during practice. So I've
Okay.
kind of gotten used into listening to it, and it kind of like gets me really hyped for when I'm about to swim.
Any specific Pitbull song that you're like, oh yeah? This is
Fireball. Fireball plays every day at practice, so it's always in my head.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
I might have to use that during warm-ups. Basketball we got coming up later on. All right, let me ask you this. You mentioned earlier that you guys should be better than last year. Last year, you guys had a pretty good season, and I know specifically, individually, you had a great season last year. You went to state. You had what, two runner-up finishes at state?
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, I'm assuming the goal this year, if you want to get better, is
Yes.
to win a state championship.
Yes. Yes. So like last year when we went to states, we had, I don't know how many boys, but we had like 5-6 boys in a relay for them, and then it was just me for the girls side. So this year I'm looking forward to at least getting a couple more girls to come to states and at least to get a relay, because we have a really solid relay right now that we did at the last meet. So I feel like with that relay and with like the addition to our new freshmen, and then just figuring out the kinks and the workout of who's going to go in which place. Last week it was a really solid relay, so I feel like we can keep training and we can keep doing that, and I feel like we'll actually get a relay to states for the women's side. And men's side, we've been really good last year, and I feel like we got better this year because in addition, we have more guys coming, and our relays have gotten even faster. So I feel like instead of just one relay, we'll be able to get 2 and a couple more guys to states. So in that sense, we're like moving up in the ranks in relation to other swim teams around like Wake County.
I was gonna say, how's the outlook? What's the outlook for the SWAC for the conference this year?
Well, we're since we're like the new school and the new team, we've always been like down at the bottom a little bit. But with everything that we've been doing and with the people and like the seniors this year, also the freshmen, we have a lot of freshmen who swim competitively who have joined our team. I feel like we're going to have a better chance of getting maybe like somewhere in the top, like I don't know how many teams are necessarily at the SWAC conference, but I feel like we're going to be higher, definitely higher than we placed last year.
I'm excited to see how it plays out.
I am too.
Yeah. For those that do not know, you committed to swim for the Tar Heels. You're going to be up in Chapel Hill after you graduate green level. What went into that decision? What made you decide to go to UNC?
It was actually not my top choice of school to go to.
Really?
But with all the emails that came in, I had a very like fine list of what I wanted. Like I wanted to have both men's and women's teams. I wanted it to be a pretty large school atmosphere, not private, not all girls. And I kind of wanted the sense of like really team bonding, because as a competitive swimmer, like in high school, swimming is more individualized, but once you get into college, you score points for the team, you do dual meets, so it's kind of more team environment. Right. And so I only went on 2 recruiting trips, one to UNC and one to West Point, because all the other colleges, they just didn't fit into my criteria. And so since UNC was my first recruiting trip, I didn't know what to expect, but the overall experience was more than anything. And just being able to drive around with the team members in the car or having like these little bonding experiences, you kind of get like a feeling inside of you when you're on the campus, like this is where I want to be and this is what I want to do. And so I was like there, I did not want to leave that trip. I was like crying because it was just so fun and the people there are so amazing. And so from the end of that trip, I was like, this is probably where I want to go. But just in case, I went on a visit to West Point, and it was also really great. The people there were really fun. The mess hall that they have was probably the highlight there because it's so vibrant and there's so much noise. But they have a different experience where they don't have much of the same college experience as other people do, because they have a very strict schedule. And so I kind of wanted to have that college experience, have a little bit more freedom. So UNC was where I was going to go from the beginning. And if I wanted to still take that route of Army, which I plan on doing second year, I can still do ROTC at UNC.
I'm still new to the area. For those that do not know, I just moved to North Carolina from Indiana this summer. So I'm still trying to get used to, the schools, and obviously from other parts of the country, you hear about the North Carolina Duke rivalry, and especially for basketball.
Yes.
The one thing that I took notice of right away when I got down here to the Raleigh area is UNC and NC State is also a pretty big rivalry. And I know there are some teachers and staff members at green level that they either went to North Carolina or they went to NC State. There's that rivalry. So when you announced that you're going to North Carolina, do you have some friends or some people that were like, oh, how could you? Like you should go to NC State. It's a big rivalry. Did you have any of that when you announced
yeah, I mean, I've been a Tar Heel born, bred, dead since the beginning, I guess, because my grandparents went there, my aunts went there and everything. So I've always been raised in like Tar Heel ways. But my whole entire coaching staff at TAC, they're all NC State. Like our main coach is really Clemson, but he loves State. My coach who coaches mostly my breaststroke workouts, he went to State. And then other coach who's mainly big distance, I believe he went to State and his wife went to Duke, so he's like out of the UNC, everything. So they're mostly NC State people, and I have one of my really good friends also committed to State, but I also have another good friend who's committed to UNC with me in the same year. So it's really diverse everywhere, but overall, like, I think it's the best place, and so they're gonna be happy for me either way, and they're excited to see like where I go in that route.
That's the most important part. It seems like a friendly rivalry.
Yes, it is.
That's good. All right. What we always do to end each episode, and this is our second episode, we're still working out the kinks. Hopefully we can get some sound effects, graphics, and do a whole big thing. But we're going to end the episode with some rapid fire questions.
Oh, okay.
That have nothing to do with swimming whatsoever. I'm just going to put you on the spot, and you got to give me answers right away, okay?
Okay.
Sound good?
Okay.
All right. So Thanksgiving was just a couple weeks ago. Did you and your family, did you guys have any family traditions, any crazy food items at your Thanksgiving meal?
There's this pineapple dish that my mom made. It's like pineapple with cheese and Ritz crackers, and you heat it up in the oven. It's like really weird.
Wait,
I don't
what?
like pineapple. Yeah, I don't like pineapple that much, but it's really good for some reason. I don't really know how you make it.
Say it again. Pineapple and crackers?
It's pineapple with like Ritz crackers and then cheese on top of it. And it's not like a lot of Ritz crackers or cheese, but it's just like a weird combination that it like tastes really good. It probably has a name, but I don't know what it is.
Interesting. Pineapple. All right. So let me give you this. Your traditional Thanksgiving food, you have to eliminate one. Here are your options. Turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, green beans, or pumpkin pie. Which one are you getting rid of?
Stuffing.
I'm right there with you. All right.
I don't like
Thank
it.
you. It's just mushy bread. Come on. I've never understood that.
It's disgusting. I don't like it.
All right. So Thanksgiving was a couple weeks ago. Christmas is coming up. What are you asking for specifically for Christmas? What's your number one thing that you are wanting for Christmas this year?
They're Converse that are Carolina blue.
Okay. All right. Nice.
Yep.
All right. Last question. Worst Christmas gift ever?
Socks.
All right.
Socks.
Plain and simple. No socks for Sam this year. Everyone take note. Sam Armand from the Green Level Swim and Dive team. Thank you so much for joining us here on Keeping It Real with Rob.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it.